Welcome back. We are joined by two special guests this morning. They grew up on a dairy farm in Randolph, and they're back here to bring some heavy hitters to the area to raise some money for some farmers who suffered tragic losses in the spring flooding and post-Irene. I'm joined by Sam Lincoln and Buster Olney. Thank you so much for being here, both of you.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
So, you guys mobilized this effort, Batting for Vermont, to raise money for farmers. Was this something that you mobilized immediately, or did people come to you saying, we need help?
I think it was just a general discussion about, it was so evident that people were going to need help to recover. There was the damage was so extensive and widespread that it was very obvious that people weren't going to be able to do it on their own, and we just talked about it and talked about ideas, and this is what came forth.
Well, I've interviewed a lot of farmers, especially post-flooding and then again after Irene, and they're the last group of people to ask for help. You know, all the farmers I've asked, it's not that bad, we'll figure it out, we'll make it work. Do you think the fact that they're asking for this help is a true testament to the damage that we really saw? 15,000 acres destroyed?
Well, I think that the farmers are very resilient and independent group of people. That's what it takes to be a farmer, and again, it's beyond the capacity of many farms to recover. The damage is so widespread, and many of them, I think that behind the scenes, the concern is that some people won't step up and ask for help, that they're going to try and do it on their own. But we're doing what we can to put funds in their hands to rebuild.
How do they get a hold of those funds? It's going to the, pardon my, the Vermont
Community Foundation.
The Vermont Community Foundation. Is this grants that they'll apply for? How do they get that money?
There's a very simple process that the farmers can apply for the grant money, and it identifies who they are, and very quickly, there's very quick turnaround, 2-week turnaround from application to answer and distribution of money. So it's happening very fast.
Okay, so we've got some big names headed here. I think Buster's to blame for, well, let me just read off some of these names. We've got General Manager of the Yankees, Brian Cashman, Cubs President of Baseball, Theo Epstein, Pirates General Manager Neil Huntington, and a Red Sox scout, Galen Carr. Did you have a hard time rounding up these people, or were they happy to come help?
No, and in fact, Brian Cashman was really the inspiration for this event, because he had seen pictures on the daily column I write about the damage up here, and he suggested doing an event. And he said, look, if you do an event, I will come there. In fact, I talked to him yesterday, and he said, hey, how about if I bring up a championship trophy that the Yankees won? So he's bringing that to the event. And, our big concern was whether or not Theo Epstein was going to come. The first time I asked him, of course, he was the general manager of the Red Sox, and his answer was, I will be there. And then he took the job with the Cubs, and we were wondering. And then on Monday, a few days ago, he emailed, what city do I fly into? What time do I need to be there? So
these heavy hitters are bringing some cool memorabilia that you're auctioning off. I think it was like 146 items, 1,700 bids you've seen so far. Quickly, what's the coolest item you think is there?
I think earlier this week, Billy Bean, the general manager of the Oakland Athletics, who of course is the subject of the movie Moneyball, called and asked me, what could I do? And I said, what would be cool? If you and Brad Pitt signed the same jersey, Oakland Athletics on the front, and that's what they've done. But as you mentioned, on the website, there are about 146 items.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Sam Lincoln, Buster Olney, for joining us this morning, and we look forward to hearing about the event Saturday at Vermont Technical College in Randolph.
At 6:30.
At 6:30. All right, thank you. Kagan, looking forward to any of those items?
I am. Those items, and we'll also be speaking with Buster, talking about baseball in just a few minutes.